There is a sacred silence that blankets the world before the sun rises. It is in this silence that the world pauses and you can hear your soul speak. When you wake up early, you are not just chasing productivity. You are reclaiming time. You are saying to the universe, I am ready. I am here. I will not waste this gift called life. There was a time in my life when I saw no reason to wake up at all, when the day felt too heavy and the morning light seemed too bright for my tired eyes. But then I realized mornings don't wait for your pain to subside. They come anyway, gently, persistently, and in that consistency, I found healing. The early hours are not about alarm clocks or to-do lists. They are about breathing deeply before the world starts demanding things from you. They are about listening to your heart before the noise of life drowns it out. So wake up early, not because you must, but because you deserve to start your day on your own terms. Stand before your mirror, breathe, pray, stretch. Remind yourself that you are enough even before you do a single thing. Remember, the morning is a chance to begin again. It doesn't matter who you were yesterday. This morning, you rise as the author of a new chapter. Don't wait for motivation. Create rhythm. Don't chase time. Make space. And in that quiet victory of rising early, you will find the strength to rise again. Not just from your bed, but from everything that ever tried to break you. There is something profoundly sacred about the early hours of the morning, the time when the world is still half asleep and the chaos of life hasn't yet begun. The sky blushes slowly with the promise of light, and everything feels hushed, like the earth is holding its breath. In that stillness, something magical happens. Your inner world comes to life. There is no traffic, no phones buzzing, no urgent emails or loud conversations, just you and the sound of your own breath, a rhythm you often ignore during the rush of the day. This is not just silence, this is healing. When you wake up early, you are not racing the clock, you are stepping into a sanctuary. This quiet time doesn't ask anything from you. It does not demand productivity or performance. It only invites you to be present, to be soft, to be human. And in that being, you begin to notice things you've forgotten how to see: the golden light falling on the windowsill, the way your chest rises and falls, the tiny birds singing into the dawn. These are the things we miss when we live on fast forward. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of awareness. In the early morning quiet, you hear not just the sounds outside, but the whispers within. You hear your thoughts more clearly. You notice your emotions instead of running from them. You recognize your own voice, often lost beneath the noise of the world. This self-awareness, birthed in silence, is where clarity is born. And clarity, true clarity, can only grow in spaces where stillness is honored. It is in these early hours that many people reconnect with their purpose. Not through ambition, but through reflection. It might be through prayer, through journaling, or simply sipping tea while watching the world wake up. These are not just gentle rituals, they are lifeline. They anchor the soul before the storms of the day begin. And when your soul is anchored, you carry a kind of calm that no traffic jam or rude comment can easily shake. Too often, we associate strength with loudness, with hustle, with motion. But real strength, the kind that builds character, often grows in silence. Waking up early and sitting with yourself in that silence is a quiet rebellion against a world that tells you to always be doing. In the stillness, you realize you don't need to prove your worth, you already have it. You don't need to chase peace, you can create it. So give yourself this gift not for the sake of being productive, but because you deserve to meet yourself in peace before the world interrupts. In that stillness, you are reminded that your soul does not need noise to be heard, and your life does not need chaos to be meaningful. The early morning stillness is not empty. It is full of possibility, full of answers, full of you. Time is one of the few things we all receive equally. It does not favor the rich or the poor, the strong or the weak. Every morning, life hands you a brand new page. What you write on it, that's up to you. But for many of us, time feels like pressure. It feels like a heavy list of things we must do, places we must be, people we must answer to. We drag ourselves out of bed already behind, already overwhelmed. We forget that time is not a punishment. Time is a gift, and the way we treat our mornings reveals how we feel about that gift. When you choose to wake up early, you are choosing to open that gift slowly, with care. It is like unwrapping something precious rather than tearing into it in a rush. You are saying, this time matters. I matter. Suddenly, the day doesn't feel like an enemy chasing you, it feels like a companion walking beside you. You walk into it with intention, not fear. That simple shift from reacting to time to honoring it can change everything. In those early moments of the day, when the sun has just begun to rise, you hold in your hands a kind of time that is pure and untouched. It has not yet been claimed by deadlines, by obligations, by expectations. It belongs to you and only you. Most people don't even realize that this kind of time exists because they sleep through it. But those who rise early often discover that this is the most honest time of all. There are no distractions, no performances, just truth. Waking up early is not about having more time, it's about having better time, quality over quantity. Think about how many hours we waste later in the day, exhausted and distracted, scrolling aimlessly, rushing from one task to another without really being in any of them. But that 1 hour in the morning, spent with purpose, with mindfulness, can carry more meaning than an entire day lived in a blur. It is not about how long you live, but how deeply you live in each moment. There is freedom in claiming your own time, and there is dignity in deciding what you will do with it. Maybe you write, maybe you walk, maybe you sit quietly and think. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are simply being present with yourself. That kind of presence is rare in a world so obsessed with busyness. And it only becomes possible when you treat your time like the treasure. It is not something to fill, but something to feel. You see, when you stop rushing, you start noticing. You notice the way your body feels in the quiet. You notice the thoughts you've been too busy to face. You notice that maybe, just maybe, time was never the enemy. It was always a gift you didn't know how to open. And once you start waking up early, not just physically, but emotionally, you begin to understand you are not running out of time. You are finally stepping into it. There is a quiet kind of healing that happens when your life has rhythm, when the start of your day follows a familiar path, not because it's forced, but because it's sacred. In the beginning, it may feel simple. Waking up, brushing your teeth, stretching, making a cup of tea. But over time, these small actions become rituals, and rituals become anchors. And those anchors are what keep you steady in a world that often feels like it's moving too fast. Healing doesn't always look like breakthroughs or big moments. Sometimes it's found in doing the same thing every morning until your soul begins to trust that it is safe. For many people, life has been unpredictable. Pain has shown up without warning. Loss has knocked on their door uninvited. So, when you create a morning routine and follow it with care, you are telling your nervous system, we're okay now. You're building safety, not just in your schedule, but in your body. And safety is the soil in which healing grows. The repetition of gentle acts, lighting a candle, writing in a journal, listening to calming music becomes a way of telling yourself, I deserve peace, even if my past was filled with storms. Routine brings back a sense of control, especially for those who felt like their lives were always in someone else's hands. Waking up early and choosing how your day begins is a quiet reclaiming of power. You are no longer waking in reaction to the world, you are waking with intention. That shift may seem small, but it rewrites something deep inside. It tells the wounded parts of you that they don't have to brace for chaos every morning. So, tomorrow, When the sun rises, rise with it. Not just from your bed, but from your doubts, from your fatigue, from your old story that said you're only valuable when you're busy, only worthy when you're winning. Let the morning be a quiet revolution, not loud, not rushed, just real. Let it be a time where you reclaim your name, your peace, your pace. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need to begin. And beginning starts in the early hours, when the world is still whispering and your soul can speak the loudest. Wake up early, not just to do more, but to be more present, to feel more alive, to show yourself that your life is not just happening, it is unfolding through your choices. And maybe no one will see that moment. Maybe it will be quiet and unseen, but you will know, you will feel it, the shift, the stillness, the strength, the simple, powerful act of choosing yourself before the world chooses for you. Let your morning be your message. Let your stillness be your strength. Let your first hour be your promise to yourself. I will rise with grace. I will lead with purpose. I will begin again with love, with courage, with intention. Because you don't just wake up to face the day. You wake up to shape it.